our limit markers off the 400-metre handicap. We should see John Thompson in the black and white. Hannah Frankham will be running in the green and white. Emily H. Berger in the yellow and green. We also see off 400, I think, Cassandra Sheehan there in the red and white. Just behind them there for 390 will be Layla Jones, and she'll run from 390. What an experience for her, as she's got a pretty cool credential runner next to her. But Layla, whose father, Aaron Jones, won this race many years ago and represented our country at the World Under-20 Championships in the 800. So big hello to Aaron. I'm sure you're up there watching. Good to, I might get to see you a bit later on, mate. Pink and purple, we'll see Jordan Matthews from 370 metres. Back to Amali Palmer, she'll run from 360, the young Burnie High School student. Darcy Miller, the yellow and grey. Watch for her. She's been in some great form, been right up in the place gettings in a number of events so far this season, and looks probably due to do very well in one of the big ones. Shane Palmer, a recent winner over the Carnival Series. He'll run from 340 metres in the yellow and black. Back to the blue and green. Watch for the Victorian here, Charlie Sutherland. He's tasted success at Stawell over the Masters distance there, distance races, and was a place getter in the front markers mile in the most recent Stawell gift. Avalon Forbes is a very talented young distance runner from Hobart. She'll run from 310. Now, Josh Phoebe, I believe he's been re-handicapped, haven't written it down here, but we know that he won the big Devonport Mile only a couple of nights ago, so look out for Josh Phoebe in the red and blue. Troy Atkins did what I think a lot of athletes here would love to do. He just narrowly beat Stewie McSwain across the line in this big Burnie Mile. He's also been a winner of the 3,200 metres at Stawell. He's starting to run himself back into the shape that may see him somewhere up near the front tonight. So Troy Atkins, the former Tasmanian, will run from the purple and white of 265. His training partner, James Collier, in the Mark Hipworth stable in Victoria in the black, is our addition to the field. He'll be running alongside Troy off the 265 metre handicap, and James was third in the recent Devonport Mile, so one to watch there, the black of James Collier. Back to Jade Child, the orange and white 260. Then it's the former winner, Abby Butler. She will run from 260 metres, has represented Tasmania at the steeplechase at the National Championships and was a national champion in that event. And a really talented young distance runner is Abby Butler, the grey and white. Dalton Stretton will be the pink and white. He'll be amongst the field there. The yellow and white, Patrick Lee from 195. Oscar Young was second in the Devonport Mile behind Phoebe, so watch for the blue and white of Oscar Young. Should be right amongst it. Liam Stocky, the purple from 140. Tom Davron, the orange from 135. A connection to Davron there. Bill Davron was the TIS director for a number of years, so great to see Tom having a go at the mile here off 135. Jordan Mayston will run from 130 in the grey. Then we go back to the runners, one that we know all too well, Dangerous Dougie Hammerlock. Has been turning his attention to Hydrox of late, so I'm not sure if his mile form is quite to the standard of seeing him win at Stawell, Burnie, Devonport, the lot in pro running, but he'll see him here at Burnie off 110 in the pink. David Windybank, the very talented 800-metre runner, will run from 100 in the green. Then we see a place getter in this event on a number of occasions. James Frankham finished just behind Abby Butler. He's a national under-20 1,500-metre finalist. He'll run from 100 in the yellow. The addition to the field will be Eric Reimers will run from 75 in the blue. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the two most credentialed runners in this field. This young man that runs in the white did something that only one other Tasmanian's ever done, and that is win the Burnie 10. And in doing that, only a month later, went on to finish second at the Australian 10,000 metre championships. He's one of our most talented young distance runners. Sam Clifford will run in the white from 45. And oh, so how lucky we are, ladies and gentlemen, to have this man back again. He had a little break from running in these races, but we see him almost every year. He is a two-time Olympic Games finalist, a World Championship finalist, the holder of the 3,000 metre national record, one of the fastest milers all time in Australia. He is the king of King Island. He'll run from the mark of scratch in this open mile. It's Stuart McSwain. So everybody in the centre of the arena down, please, for the running of this open mile. And runners, you're in the starters' hands. And the gun fires, and our front markers go through, and there goes Stewie with 4 to run, the rest with 3 to go. They've been very nice to Stewie to let him rip through on the inside, and he's off and running in hot pursuit of the next runner ahead of him in Sam Clifford. And look at him, he's off to a quick tempo as well. We see just ahead of Sam Clifford the runner there in green in David Windybank, the very talented half-miler. He goes past Dangerous Dougie Hammerlock. James Franken in the yellow just ahead of him as he'll look to make contact with a couple of runners ahead of him. The runner there in blue in Eric Reimers, and also the grey there of Jordan Mason. The others now coming through to get 3 to go. We've got the purple runner there in Liam Stocky with Tom Davron up on his outside. And here comes our back markers. We see the runner in blue there, Eric Reimers, leading through the grey of Jordan Mason, James Frankham, David Windybank. Doug Hammerlock's got Sam Clifford right up onto his shoulder now and pushes him back a spot. And here comes Stewie. Gee, I tell you what, Sam Clifford started off quickly. Let's have a quick look. We don't have a time running, but it's Stewie after the first lap. He's still got a lot to do. They're out in front here. Their leader now is John Thompson. The Scot, John Thompson in the black and white Collingwood colours is leading from Hannah Frankham, Cassandra Sheehan. We've got the runner there in yellow and purple as well amongst them. Marley Palmer, the green and white in there as they get a call of 2 to go. The rest of the runners, they're settling down. Darcy Miller's moving well in the early stages with Charlie Sutherland as well, hot on the heels, the Victorian, then the Shane Palmer, the others starting to make their way through. Here comes Troy Atkins, a former winner of this event with 2 to run, with James Collier, his training partner, right on the back of him using the pace. There's Josh Phoebe in that red and blue colours, the Devonport Mile winner with Abby Butler just behind him. The back markers are starting to rip through now. We see Eric Reimers go through in the blue, James Frankham, the grey just behind him, Sam Clifford, David Windybank, Stewie McSwain's put Dougie Hammerlock back a position, but he's still got a power of work to do. He's going to have to really go for it now in this third lap. It's Stewie. Let's get right behind him, ladies and gentlemen. This looks like an enormous task, as it always is for Stewie, but he will now put that big endurance engine he's got in his legs and his heart to try to get after them. Sam Clifford, though, is probably the runner just ahead of him. I reckon he maybe put some distance into him in the handicaps as he's now starting to make his way through the field. But let's look at that margin. It's about 100 and so metres for Sam Clifford, the white. Stewie still hasn't made contact with the main field. We've got a new leader in the foot race. It's Darcy Miller in the yellow and grey. She goes to the front from John Thompson. Charlie Sutherland, the Victorian, right there, gets the call of 1 to go. Cassandra Sheehan leads up a big pack. Well, back markers, here comes Troy Atkins with James Collier right behind him as he starts to power in and gets into this last lap. The back markers, can they do it? Well, I reckon Sam's the biggest chance. Sam Clifford gets a call of 1 to go. He looks up and sees them a while in front. Darcy Miller has cleared out in the back straight from Charlie Sutherland, the Victorian, John Thompson. Here comes Troy Atkins and also James Collier right behind him as Troy Atkins moves up into 4th. Darcy Miller is going for it. She's never won a big mile. Can she do it here tonight? Charlie Sutherland, the Victorian's her biggest danger. Miller's still got about 5 to 10 metres. The runners from the back, the big dangers. James Collier slipped it into overdrive. He's moved up into 3rd. Troy Atkins is trying to go with him. Still Darcy Miller at the point. She's going for home. Can Darcy Miller finally do it? She's been so close so many times. Can she do it? James Collier, the Victorian. Charlie Sutherland's coming at him too. Darcy Miller's got about 30 metres to go. James Collier is giving it everything. Still Darcy Miller by a couple. Darcy Miller does it. Gets up in the Burnie Mile from James Collier. Charlie Sutherland comes through. Clifford, what a run from the second back mark. Here comes Stewie through the line. He got through about half of them. They're all coming through one at a time. But Darcy Miller finally does it in a big mile. And how about that? She'll be elated, as will her coach, Mike Gunson, who's been waiting for Darcy to finally do it. And what a day to do it here at the Burnie Mile. It's Darcy Miller in 3:57.46 gets the job done in the Gatorade Open Mile. What a performance. Will go down the list. James Collier went close at Devonport, got even closer again tonight. 3:58.58 for second place. Darcy Miller gets the job done. She's exhausted, as you can appreciate. She had them all in hot pursuit behind her. Charlie Sutherland, the Victorian, stepped up and just got it under 4. We look with interest at the time here to see how the others performed. How about a big round of applause for Stewie McSwain, who's come back again. He always gives it everything. He'll be keen to see what time he's run. He knew he had to do something amazing to catch that field. Just a little announcement as a sidelight. Please make sure you've got everything off the ground. Our pyrotechnics team wants to run a safe fireworks display, so if you can, please, you don't need to be on the ground for the next period of time. You need to be making your way off the ground. We'll go down the list. Oscar Young, and another great run from the young Burnie High School student. He's run 3:59.60 to get 4th. Starting to go through, and yeah, what is that? No surprise here. Oscar, actually a Stuart McSwain scholarship receiver, getting a little photo with Stewie, so that's a great imprint. Sam Clifford off 45 metres has run 4 flat .20. That's quite the run from the Burnie 10 winner. And we'll get our way down through the list as those times come to hand. But please, again, 9:15, I think it is, or a little bit later, we're looking to get those fireworks started. So 5 more minutes, only 5 minutes. Please, please, athletes, start to make your way off the ground. They will only start when we're all off the ground. So please, I know it's difficult, runners with spikes on and the like, but please do their best to get off the ground as quick as possible. 5 minutes to go until we need to be off the ground. Troy Atkins has run 4:01.5 to get 7th. Now we're working our way down that list. We do look with interest what Stewie's managed to do tonight from scratch. Going from screen to screen as it does happen. But
Grant,
again,
we might need to get on with this just before you come back. We might just go with the presentation. Darcy Miller, congratulations. What a wonderful run. Just held on. That took a lot of G&D.
Yeah.
How have you been training? I mean, Mike's your trainer, Mike Gunson, and we've been working hard with you, and you've been trying to get this one for a little while, but you finally picked one up. That's magnificent. What have you been doing in training?
Probably a little bit more speed work than usual, which might have helped a bit, I guess. Yeah, probably felt a bit pressure like this.
And the temptation to keep looking over your shoulder all the time to see where everyone else is coming from. Did you just try and get the blinkers on and just keep going?
Yeah.
Right, well,
leave it all on the track.
Leave it all on the track. All right, well, that's it. Darcy Miller is your mile winner. Fantastic performance. So congratulations. Put your hands together for Darcy Miller.